So my name is Stevie Osborne, and I guess right now, as far as I know, I was the first one signed on for the apprenticeship here in Wyoming, which is like super exciting. Which I was excited to do it anyways, but I don't know about role helping them get the word out. I guess kind of Rayada has asked us to help with that.
Can you tell me a little bit about the apprenticeship itself, kind of like what it entails or what it's all about?
I'm a newer operator for water and wastewater, and then I have my mentor who's my boss, and so he'll help me learn. And the apprenticeship will go around, from like I said, from what I understand, go around the states, and we'll go doing different trainings and tours of different plants and see how other things are ran, and get to visit and talk with other operators and experienced people.
That's awesome. How did you arrive at this? Like, did you like have an inclination for this before, or is it something that you kind of discovered later on?
It was actually kind of accidental, I guess. Um, I worked in a few other jobs, and then I started working for the city with the streets department and decided that that wasn't the best fit for me. And there was an opening in water, and I liked what I had heard about water treatment. There was the testing and the education that went into it really intrigued me, because I enjoy learning new things and constantly growing instead of just like petering out and being bored. So I was like, that seems really cool. So I applied for it, and they chose me. So that was pretty cool. And it was just kind of an accidental slip into the like best career I've ever had or job I've ever had. I love it.
What kind of hurdles did you experience for starting out?
It was intimidating. It still really kind of is, because there's so much behind it that you wouldn't expect. You turn on your water or you flush your toilet and you're like, meh, but there's so much more behind it. With the water, it's all chemistry, and with the wastewater, it's all biology. So it's like, and I'm lucky enough in Rawlins where we run both the water and the wastewater. So it's like learning all of this new stuff that, gosh, I haven't touched on since high school. So that was a little rough, like relearning some of the math, and just getting back into studying for the tests and stuff. That was a hard one for me for a second. I was like, oh no, how do I make myself remember this? um, but it's really kind of awesome, because this is, in this job, it's so cool, because in this whole profession, actually, there's so many people out here that do this job, and they're so willing to share their knowledge, where in a lot of places people are so stingy with their knowledge. They're like, I know it and I'm going to stay on top, neener neener. Where here in this field, people are like, you need help, you want to talk about it, let me tell you. And it's really great. So that's why one of the reasons I'm excited about the apprenticeship program is because like I get to meet more of those people, and God, they're brilliant, they're so smart. So that's really cool.
That's great.
Mhm.
What would you say are some of the most rewarding things that you've experienced?
I love learning. I love like building that, for myself and for others. I like to share with like family, friends, and anybody who will listen. I'm like, oh, hey, guess what? And we won. So Rollins won the best tasting water for the state of Wyoming, which was really exciting, and I was there for that. So that was super cool. Um, and then just watching all the projects we're doing, like we're expanding our spring system and stuff, and learning all of that. And I get to see the old wood stave pipe that they put in 100 years ago, and we're still using some of that. And I get to tell people like how fantastic, like they did such a good job with this stuff, we're still using it 100 years later. Like that's so cool. um and then just going, my boss and I, my mentor Danny, he and I are talking with, I'm going a million miles a minute, I'm sorry.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You're doing a wonderful job. You're actually giving me a lot of good information, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're actually talking with the cooperative high school, and it was an idea by Michelle in Rayada. because we have a really great co-op here, and we went and talked to the principal, and he is totally open to us going down there and doing PowerPoints and having conversations with these kids that are kind of, they could be outskirted, but they don't quite fit in with, typical education pathways, I guess. And so we're really excited. I'm like super, because that was me when I was a kid. I dropped out in 10th grade, and I didn't get my GED until I was 24 after I had my daughter. And then now I've got college credits under my belt, and I've getting these amazing certifications, and it's like these kids could do that too. It's not just, you don't have to go to the oil field or flip burgers or work in a restaurant. There's so much more out there for kids that are more hands-on learning, and it's a really great career because like the COVID happened and we worked every day. People still need water, they still need to dispose of their water, and it's really important, and it's really it feels good. Like it's really cool. It's like I do this amazing thing that people, sometimes they take it for granted, but I know I do it, and it would be nice. We're excited to share that with the younger generations too and get them in on it. I think
So
that's one of the best things so far. I'm super excited about that.
can I talk to you a little bit about mentorship and how important it is for somebody who's just starting out in a career, especially in your apprenticeship, like what that has been like for you?
Having somebody, it's it's definitely much needed for sure, because there's so many ins and outs of this that it's fine tuning a lot of things, and it's getting that knowledge from somebody who's experienced and has goofed up in the past, and they're like, oh no, and so you can be like, oh, okay. And then it's nice sometimes, because sometimes they're like, well, let her mess up and see where this goes. Let her figure it out, and but having somebody that backs you up and understands where you're coming from is, I think, one of the best things. And like Danny is my mentor, and he's the best I could ask for. He lets me mess up, but he also lets me grow on my own. If I have ideas, I don't feel uncomfortable coming to him at all. He never makes me feel less than him at all, which is really important. And because it's so, like I said, it's a lot of hard stuff that takes a minute to retain it all. So not feeling dumb when I go for a question is amazing. Like feeling confident and knowing that he's gonna give me the best answer that he can without judgment.
That's great. What do you think makes a successful apprentice?
Well, I guess I could only like give you an idea since I haven't went through the whole thing yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of commitment, making sure that you're committing to what they're asking you to do. If they're asking you to go to these classes, do your best to do it. If they're asking you to, keep in touch with certain people for certain reasons, I'd say do it. And always, that's huge asset in this industry, is being able to reach out to other towns and other operators that you meet and being like, hey, I know you're really good at this, can you help me? Like and then just not being afraid to ask, I think, and is going to be a big one, because I know I'm a little shy when it comes to being around a group of folks. I'm not going to be the first person to put my hand up, but I will be like, hey, though, like, what do you think about that? I don't fully understand. I think I'm going to have to get my feet a little more wet than what's comfortable for me in that aspect. But asking questions and staying committed, I think, is going to be a big one.
That's wonderful. I appreciate that. Like if you were speaking to somebody undecided in their future career or someone in the process of changing careers, what would you say to them?
I would tell them to definitely probably do it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen is you don't like it, or you get a little knowledge, or you see something else. Like, try it. This career opportunity it's a big one. You don't get it from everywhere, especially, you know, for some of the older folks. Like with young kids, they can get college grants and things like that. But for, like, I'm 32 and I'm an apprentice, so it's a great opportunity to grow yourself. And I don't see why you wouldn't do that. Because in this career, you can go not only in Wyoming, you can go everywhere with it. And Wyoming has strict regulations, so our licenses can kind of bounce around a little more than other states can. So going through this apprenticeship, getting your license, and then you can be an operator for towns, you can be a private operator, you can be a contract operator, you can go anywhere. You can kind of take it into other places too. So I've met people that started out as operators and now they own their own valve business and they come and help with valves. Or like Michelle, she started out as an operator and now she goes around from town to town helping people. Like there's just so many other doorways you can go from here. So why not?
So the last one here, how can apprenticeships affect a community? Like in particular, if you want to open it up to talk about trades, like the importance of trades and apprenticeships, what does that do to a community, do you think?
Like you can get paid as you go. So as of now, I work for the city of Rawlins, and so I'm learning and I'm still getting financial gain from it. And whereas when you go to college and stuff, you're going to school and then your work is completely separate. Well, when you're doing apprenticeship, your work and your schooling is hand in hand. It's all together. And the hands-on learning, it'll take you way far. Like I can read a million books about pumps, but gosh, I have to be hands-on with a pump where I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I would say with the apprenticeship, it's really fantastic because you're working, you're being able to pay your bills, and if you get on with a government agency, then, usually you get good benefits, health and stuff like that. So that's always a bonus, especially for younger folks who are about to come off their parents' stuff. So, and then 401ks, if you get on when you're young and you get in with the city, you do the apprenticeship and they're like, if you stick with it, we'll stick with you. Then you're starting your 401k way young and you're getting a good career and you're getting paid. So it's like a win-win all the way around for the younger folks, I'd say, to just start that life journey.
Wonderful answer. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about your experience or anything else that you'd like to say?
Mm, I hope that anybody who's watching this really does think about water and wastewater. I know a lot of people are like wastewater, but it's really not that bad. You get used to it, your olfactory shut down, and it's kind of fun. Like you find fun things, and and with the water, you get a sense of pride because there's an entire community counting on you to do your job and keep them healthy. They don't realize it, but you do. And it's really fantastic. It's definitely something that a lot of people should think about going into, I believe.
Yeah, I really appreciate your time and for all you do over there. And
Oh, thanks.
yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Oh, of course we will.
Yeah.